Hi everyone, I'm Sarah, and welcome back to TLC's Next Updates. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe and give a thumbs up to this episode. This one's really emotional and is worth watching until the very end. Today, we're talking about Christine Brown's heartfelt tribute to her late son, Garrison Brown. After the heartbreak of his passing in March 2024, Christine found a beautiful way to honor his memory, and what she did has touched fans everywhere. So, what exactly did Kody Brown's former wife do to remember Garrison in such a meaningful way? Let's find out. Garrison died in March 2024, although sister wives didn't mention his passing until May 2025. When they finally did, the tribute was truly heart-wrenching. Not only did it display the day he died, but also some of the inner demons he had to contend with, followed by the family emotional goodbye. The show made it perfectly apparent just how much everybody adored him. Although Garrison was Janelle and Kody Brown's biological son, Christine raised him significantly. During the time when the family was intact and Janelle worked full-time, Christine was home and assisted with raising the children, including Garrison. She has always said great things about him, and one could see how close they were. This past Memorial Day, May 26th, she honored him in such a lovely and sentimental manner. Christine posted 2 images on social media. Garrison happily in his Nevada Army National Guard uniform, and one of the 2 of them laughing and goofing off together. She also honored her late father-in-law, David Woolley's husband. She included in her caption, "Today, we visited David's dad's grave and Garrison's tree. It's difficult to explain to you how much Memorial Day means to me. Thank you to everyone who served for our freedom." What most caught fans off guard is that Christine was the sole sister wives parent to publicly acknowledge Garrison on Memorial Day. Janelle did put up a Memorial Day blog post on TA Farms, but Mary remained mum. Kody and Robyn, who hardly ever show up on social media, were quiet too. Nevertheless, Christine's homage meant everything to viewers who were grieving right along with her. Fans commented on her post with love and wholehearted support. They shared with her how much they missed Garrison on the show. One said, "His death really touched me. I loved watching him on screen." Others told Christine to hug Janelle for them, sending red heart emojis and tearful expressions. Remarks such as, "What a wonderful soul he was," and "So grateful we were able to witness his big heart," came streaming in from everywhere. Though Garrison was not pleased with having his picture taken, Christine was able to snap and immortalize his essence in the most loving manner. While Christine is being celebrated for the way in which she continues to honor Garrison, another member of the Sister Wives family is in for severe criticism. Following the airing of the first installment of the Season 19 tell-all, fans are criticizing Kody and Robyn Brown for their part in the family saga. The season's emotional finale has brought with it a new wave of criticism for the couple. Christine, Janelle, and Mary finally opened up in the tell-all on how Kody had mistreated them unfairly for years. Host Sukanya Krishnan didn't hold back either. She pulled out clips of Kody in the past that outright contradicted what he was saying now. Fans were quick to spot the lies and double standards, and they didn't hesitate to share their outrage online. Now, an increasing number of viewers are calling for TLC to cease paying Kody and Robyn. They believe the couple has not added anything positive to the show and does not deserve to profit from the hurt and turmoil that others have experienced. As the reaction grows, people are asking how this will impact the future of Sister Wives. Drama is simmering over in the new Sister Wives tell-all, and it's up close and personal. Kody Brown didn't mince words during his one-on-one sit-downs, revealing how uncomfortable and fractured things are now. He spoke about how previously all the wives would do these interviews together, united in support, even if they didn't see eye to eye. Now, that's not the case anymore. It's every man for himself, and the emotional cracks are evident. Robyn Brown also generated buzz, not because of what she had to say, but because of what she didn't. She admitted she would truly rather have a root canal than sit through the tell-all special. She said she's not one to get on from things easily, dropping the strong suggestion that she's still too hurt by how the family imploded. Her refusal to confront the past reveals how tender the wound is for her. But that resistance didn't go unnoticed, and fans are not pleased. Most of the viewers have criticized the actress on social media, particularly after Robyn declined to re-watch past episodes of the show. She stated that the clips were too painful and disturbing to rewatch and expressed how it pained her to hear the people she loved speak so cruelly to and about one another. She characterized the experience as toxic and wished to stay away from that kind of negativity. However, others perceived it differently. They believed she was just shying away from being held accountable. Online, there was a fierce backlash. Some of the fans explained that if Robyn will not play along fully, she ought not to be paid. The same criticism was also aimed at Kody, who kept interrupting the host, Sukanya Krishnan, every time she attempted to pose him tough but reality-based questions. To many viewers, it seemed as though Kody and Robyn were avoiding the truth as the other wives appeared, responded truthfully, and revisited their worst moments. One agitated viewer put it best: "You don't answer, you don't get paid. Period." Others also noted that although Christine, Janelle, and Mary exposed themselves, however awkward, Robyn and Kody appeared more fixated on guarding their reputation. And yet, they live in grand style with a $2.1 million mansion and a luxury convertible. Fans were quick to remind that if you desire the paycheck, you'd better be prepared to take the rough questions. In an ironic moment, Robyn actually looked pleased when Janelle called her the sacred cow. She grinned and even looked embarrassed. But viewers weren't charmed. To them, it was simply another demonstration of her unwillingness to admit the truth. One viewer captured the tone: "She can't watch the clips, because then she'd have to admit she's been lying, and that she's hurt people. The drama isn't done." The second half of the Sister Wives tell-all airs on June 1st, 2025, and it delivers even more emotional bombshells. Janelle will answer honestly about how she really feels about Kody and Robyn, and Christine will address being dubbed Kody's favorite ex-wife, a name that's caused enough controversy among viewers. And perhaps, most intriguingly, we'll finally get an update on what happened to Kody's much-discussed plan to go on a guys trip with Christine's husband, David Woolley. Yes, you heard that right. And in the quiet moments beyond the drama, there remains the echo of grief from earlier in the year. The loss of a son who touched many hearts. One lady, who is well known to the world for being in a complex family, has navigated public sorrow with dignity. Christine Brown, following her loss of son Garrison early in 2024, has also found her own way of paying tribute to his memory and keeping his spirit alive. His not being there caused a ripple of grief, not just within the family, but also from fans who saw him mature before their eyes. From a rambunctious boy to a young man of principle and empathy. Christine's obituary was a reminder of how much Garrison meant to the people who really knew him. While Janelle was his birth mother, it was Christine who tended to play a role as caregiver, emotional support, and guiding light in raising him. They had a strong connection, lots of laughter, stories shared, and countless everyday moments that sewed their relationship together like family. As Memorial Day passed by, Christine decided to commemorate the day by paying tribute to the legacy of Garrison. She went to the memorial tree planted in his honor and paid homage to David Woolley's late father. With words full of emotion, she described the importance of the day and was grateful to all the people who have served. It was a subtle but forceful tribute that spoke more than any headline ever could. Even with all the drama, heartache, and scandal, Christine's resilience still radiates. Her devotion to Garrison is a flame, and to many viewers, her genuineness is what holds their interest. During moments of contemplative quiet, Memorial Day becomes intensely heavy, particularly for those who have lost a loved one who served. For Christine Brown, this year's observance became an intensely personal offering. She commemorated the day not only in words, but with a religious act, a contemplative visit to a tree planted for her deceased son, Garrison Brown. That towering, youthful tree is a living reminder of a young man who gave his heart in service and whose life touched so many. But Christine's memorial did not stop there. Together with Garrison, she remembered another significant person, her late father-in-law, her husband David Woolley's father. Remembering both of them, she recognized the strong legacies of sacrifice, strength, and love that continued to define her existence. And then, with quiet dignity, she posted 2 photos that spoke 1,000 words. One of Garrison in uniform, fierce and proud, and the other, a candid, happy moment of mother and son. One photo illustrated duty, the other, devotion. Those photographs resonated with so many fans. They were a peek into Garrison's heart, his bravery, his sense of humor, and the love he had for Christine, who raised him with true love and compassion. In her post, Christine expressed words of appreciation and awe, trying to get at what Memorial Day now is to her. She thanked every serviceman and woman, but her post also had a personal, unspoken sorrow, one only a bereaved mother can completely share. What made her tribute so remarkable was that she was the only one of the sister wives' parents to publicly honor Garrison on Memorial Day. Janelle Brown, his birth mother, shared a related article, but Mary said nothing. Kody and Robyn Brown, typically quiet on social media, uttered nothing at all. And Christine, as always, spoke up to bring Garrison's memory into the world. Fans, who had grown up with Garrison on television since 2010, felt the tragedy deeply. Their words filled Christine's page with love and grief. "Garrison's passing really hit me hard," wrote one viewer. "Christine, hug Janelle for me." Another wrote, "His smile lit up the entire scene. I'm honored to have witnessed his heart." These were more than comments. These were tender messages from a grieving community still mourning with the family. Christine, bless her, caught moments Garrison wouldn't always permit. He was famously camera shy, but she managed to freeze his innermost self in pictures that now mean everything. Through her eyes, fans glimpsed his strength, his generosity, and the quiet beauty he brought to those in his orbit. But this isn't a story about grief. It's also about legacy. Christine's tribute wasn't just a farewell. It was a celebration, a testament to a life of service, laughter, resilience, and love. In remembering her son, she reminded us all to treasure each moment, to honor the people we've lost not only with sadness, but with pride in who they were. Her courage to share, even in her darkest hours, has inspired many. Because the truth is, the loss of a child is a wound that never heals. It's a grief that rewrites a person, and Christine has borne the burden of it with dignity. Her passage through grief has been one of heartache, yes, but also of resilience. From the instant she came in to take over raising Garrison, when his birth mother Janelle was on the job, she became an inspiring presence. She provided him with warmth, sustenance, and a home filled with love. He, in turn, provided her with a reason to continue. Through whatever internal struggles he might have endured, Garrison remained an exemplary figure as a staff sergeant in the Nevada Army National Guard. That dedication to something beyond himself, to service, and to protection, commanded respect from everyone who met him. That devotion became an integral aspect of his legacy. When the day finally arrived to let him go, the family congregated in a quiet spot to bury him. They exchanged memories, some that triggered laughter, some that evoked tears. It was a time of letting go, of bonding, and of healing. And in it all, Christine was the heart of it. Her voice, calm and kind, still rings out Garrison's memory with love and respect. Her Memorial Day tribute wasn't so much a post, it was a promise to keep his memory alive, to keep his service honored, and to never allow the world to forget the man behind the grin. Garrison Brown's death created a silence that resonates in every room of the Sister Wives clan. But within that silence, his mother Christine has elected remembrance over despair. With every trip to the memorial tree now planted in his memory, with every sentimental post she writes, Christine makes it clear to the world. Her son is remembered. As he was buried, Garrison was accorded the respect he had gained. His loved ones and kin laid tokens of loved memories beside him, small tokens of a life that left an indelible mark. The ceremonies performed that day were not mere rituals. They were acts of reverence and mourning, a goodbye covered in meaning. Since then, Christine has turned to the quiet symbolism of remembrance. She goes to the tree, she remembers his laughter, his bravery, and his warmth. Her social media updates, uncommon, unvarnished, and authentic, have turned into windows into her soul. She doesn't always have the right words. Some feelings just can't be put into words. But what she does say is authentic. And that authenticity has reached people far outside her own community. Audiences who had grown up watching Garrison develop before their eyes mourned his passing. His loss was intimate. For more than a decade, they experienced his milestones, his conflicts, and his unassuming happiness. His smile, his silly charm, his profound heart. They weren't merely tuning into a television show, they were relating to a human being. And when he died, they grieved as if they'd lost a family member. There were hundreds of messages, memories, condolences, stories. "I watched him grow up," one said. "He was always so kind." Others were remembering favorite moments, a hug between siblings, the quiet conversation with Janelle, or the way he could make them laugh during family stress scenes. These weren't episodes, they were memories. Even beyond the fans and family, groups Garrison was passionate about jumped into action to pay tribute to his legacy. One animal sanctuary, which was close to his heart, named an area of their center in his honor. A lovely, poignant gesture that showed yet another side of the kind of man he was. Someone who loved fiercely and gave unconditionally, not only to humans, but to creatures in need. And throughout it all, Christine is strong. Her love has never faltered. Her updates are not so much about mourning, they're about resiliency. She's modeling for the rest of us that it's all right to grieve, to vocalize, to honor in public. By doing that, she's provided solace to other parents who are traversing the same heart-wrenching path. Her words resonate, her photos mend, her very being, even in grief, encourages. Each picture she posts, each trip to a location where they used to stand together, is a labor of love. She's not only remembering Garrison, she's reminding us what it is to carry someone in your heart. Her relationship with her son didn't disappear when he died. It evolved, and it still lasts. Because this is not a story about grief. It's a story about legacy. It's the story of how one young man, through simple acts of kindness, service, and bravery, touched the lives of a community. How a mother, through suffering and resilience, still speaks his name, shares his spirit, and inspires others to hold dear the moments they have with the ones they love. Christine's Memorial Day tribute was not only emotional, it was powerful. It reminded us all that remembering is not passive. It's active. It's continuous. It's love in action. And through her, Garrison's light will continue to shine. A beacon of strength, compassion, and abiding love. And though the recent Sister Wives reunion caused controversy and reopened old wounds, it also served as a reminder that beneath this complicated family lies something very human. Grief, love, memory, and the desire to keep moving forward. For Christine, this means keeping Garrison's memory alive in any way that she can. For fans, it means preserving the times he spent with them. And for all who have ever loved and lost, it is to recall that even through the blackest grief, there remains love. For more than a decade, the reunion episode stripped away the veneer, revealing old scars and raw realities that everyone assumed were long forgotten. It wasn't a reunion, it was a reckoning. For years, the family tension was swept under the rug in the spirit of togetherness. But now, the lopsided power struggles and years of pain came roaring to the fore. Some of the women, once reserved, once guarded, not only discovered their voice, they employed it. They talked candidly of the disparity, the disrepair, and the emotional damage of being bound to a man who, in their terms, again and again chose control over connection. The reunion organizer, equipped with historic footage, didn't permit denials to pass. Old images rolled. Contradictions were revealed. And in those tense moments of silence, the truth at last spoke more forcefully than lines on script. The reunion's initial moments told us all. We witnessed two of the main players arrive. Tense, guarded, obviously dreading what was to come. One of them, clearly shaken, acknowledged they'd rather have physical agony than endured this emotional showdown. The other dodged with nervous laughter, before finally breaking under the weight of the fact that the days of carefully constructed fibs were behind us. They nostalgically remembered the past, when they sat shoulder to shoulder, protecting each other from tough questions, presenting a united front to the world. But now, that unity has disintegrated, replaced by suspicion, remorse, and the overdue consequences of unrestrained acts. Then came the backlash. Social media went haywire. Fans were outraged, not so much by what was said, but by what wasn't. One of the hotter celebrities spoke out, saying they couldn't even stomach watching the throwback videos, calling them disturbing and too toxic. But to the fans, this wasn't vulnerability, it was avoidance, a refusal to face the past. And for many, that was a line crossed. Audiences weren't merely disappointed, they were angry. Posts came flooding in, calling for accountability. If you're not going to show up, tell the truth, or answer what you've done, one viewer posted, then you shouldn't be paid. Period. Another chimed in. The rest of the family attended. They answered tough questions. Why should these two be let off the hook? Fans weren't just venting. Fans were demanding consequences. Monetary consequences. Demands to remove reunion appearance fees, take away perks, and remind the people at the center of the controversy. Reality TV is work. And that work comes with obligations, particularly when your life, your decisions, and your truths impact so many. While images scrolled and facts were revealed, the public witnessed a sharp contrast. Some family members sat with their hurt, their shame, and their sorrow, and they openly shared it. Others avoided, deflected, and denied. And that contrast wasn't missed by anyone. The annoyance was compounded by the luxurious lifestyle these specific cast members enjoy. Mansions, expensive cars, and a track record of avoiding emotional responsibility. To many fans, this reunion wasn't merely an episode, but a test of character. And for some, that test had been failed, dramatically. Ultimately, this reunion wasn't about reliving old drama. It was a test of truth, of growth, and of accountability. And the viewers made one thing certain. Their overperformative apologies and selective memory. They want answers. They want change, and above all else, they want respect. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this analysis and would like more about the Sister Wives family drama, don't forget to like, subscribe, and enable notifications for daily material. Your support allows these stories to be told and the truth in the forefront.